I was just out on my bicycle, riding along in the great, lovely, beautiful rice fields in northeastern Thailand. It's just so great to do this. I mean, the color out there is just magnificent. It's purity 10 times, 100 times over. It's just so pure and fresh and beautiful, and just to sail through the rice fields on a bicycle, slowly taking a rest here and there. A little sip of water or a little bit of coffee that perhaps I could bring in a little bottle, and just enjoy the beautiful landscape. It's really pristine serenity. I mean, it's just so serene and beautiful and pure. But anyway, today I was thinking about a story. It just came to me when I was riding my bike in the rice fields. Had all these beautiful rice fields all around me, and I was just thinking about self, purification of the self, and the transcendence of the self. I mean, going from personality self to God self, in a way, going from personality self, ego self, mind self, to true self, as they say in India, to Atman, to Parabrahman, to the true self inside us, the unborn spirit, the unborn heart, which in itself is God, or the space where God or true self resides. Anyway, so I do that practice quite a lot, and it's like an inner yoga in a way, and it's perfect to do it out in the rice fields. And today a story came to me just suddenly about a man in India, in Calcutta, because I always wanted to go to Calcutta and I never succeeded in going there yet. But suddenly I just saw a man, a rickshaw man, very, very, very poor, and actually sick, and he had gotten cancer, actually. And he just doesn't have anything else than his rickshaw. You know, if he can get some food every day, then he has very good luck, because sometimes he cannot, and he doesn't have a place to sleep, he doesn't have a home, he has only his rickshaw and his body and his cancer and his hunger, in a way. So he's very, very poor, and he doesn't have anything except, of course, the suffering of life, and of course also the divine aspect of life, as every man has, and of course especially in India, where everyone is in some way or another connected to true source, to the divine, to God, or to Brahman, or to the divine aspect of our inner heart, or where God resides in a way. And I just had this story came to me that he after a long time like this, he got more and more happy, because he practiced a lot to purify his own self, to purify himself, to transcend from personality self, from body self, from mind self, to divine self, or to true self, as they say, to Atman. So he knew about that you have to give up your personality self, you have to sacrifice your personality self and merge with the God self in order to reach Brahman, or Atman, or Krishna, or the true light in this world. And he was so poor that one day he actually had to sell his body, or sell his skeleton, because sometimes they do that in India when they're broke, when they don't have anything. Sometimes they can sell their body, or sell their skeleton. And for your skeleton, you will get money so that you could buy food for a week or so, because a skeleton in India is not very expensive. There are a lot of people who are willing and able to sell their own bodies because they have nothing left, so they can sell it. And he did that. Also because he thought, well, I have cancer too. I'm not going to last too long, so why not sell my skeleton now and get some rupees and some nice food before it's too late. So he did that. And after he sold his skeleton, after he sold his body, he became so happy. He became really, really, truly happy because he felt that he was free. He had done the last step of purifying himself completely, because now he didn't have a body anymore. So he felt that, well, I've never been so happy in my whole life because I don't have any. I am not me anymore. I'm just God. I'm just pure consciousness. I'm not burdened by my body. I'm not burdened by my sickness. I'm not burdened by my poverty, because it doesn't exist to me, because my sickness and my body and my poverty exists only to my personality self, to my mind self. And I've given up my mind self, so now I'm only true self. I'm only the Atman self, the Brahman, the Para-Brahman self. So I'm completely free. And he was a very, very happy man, and he had no problems whatsoever. He was just completely liberated because he was only inner heart, true self. And so he took the money from the transaction. He sold his skeleton, and he went, of course, to eat, because he was very, very hungry. So he went to eat. And after 3 or 4 days, when the money ran out, because, as I said, a body or a skeleton is not it's not too expensive in India, especially in some places. So maybe it lasted for 3 or 4 days. In this case, this is just a story that I make up in my mind. But anyway, he was also so extremely happy when he understood that I've not only sold my skeleton, it's not only the fact that I don't have a body anymore, in a way. I have actually digested my own body. I have eaten my own body. I have digested it, and my poo-poo is out of me. I have poo-pooed myself out of myself. My body is in the toilet. I've put my body in the toilet, and the only thing that's left is me as the true self. The only thing that's left is Atman. The only thing that's left is Brahman. The only thing that's left is true self. The self without any personality or body-mind self. So he was incredibly happy, and he thought that, oh my God, I sold the last thing that bound me to this earth. I've sold the last thing that kept me enslaved to this world. I have gotten rid of the only point in my life that was my problem, which means my own self, my personality self, my mind and body self, my skeleton anyway, because my mind self is just only a skeleton in my brain. It's just a program, it's just a mental program that I'm attached to, and from which I interpret life, and from which I deliver suffering to myself, because I interpret everything through this lens of the personality self. And now that's gone, so I'm free. Now I'm only my own soul, my own Atman, my own Brahman self. And I have even digested myself. I have even digested my own skeleton. I have even put my own body in the toilet, because I have digested it. So I'm completely free. I have digested myself with myself. I have digested my own body with my body. Now I'm completely free. I'm completely established within the Atman self, within the Brahman self, within Para-Brahman, within God, the God self. So after he had gone to the toilet 3 or 4 times, he just felt completely purified. I'm completely self-purified. And suddenly everyone in Calcutta started to love him, because he was the light, he was the light of Christ. He was Jesus without Jesus. he was the Buddha without the Buddha. He was just pure spirit. He was Jesus Christ without Jesus Christ to disturb the Jesus Christ in him. He was the Buddha without the Buddha to disturb the Buddha inside of him. He was divine without any human personality, body, mind, self to disturb the divine aspect that he was. Everyone loved him. And as a matter of fact, he became very rich before he finally died. But to be rich didn't mean anything to him, because wealth or being rich was only to be Atman for him. The more he was able to be only Atman, the richer he was, the richer he felt. And wealth is a feeling. So he just stayed with his feeling of wealth, and that is God. God is the biggest wealth in the world. He thought like that. And slowly, he disappeared. He became dust, and his spirit, his divine heart, well, we don't know that yet, what happened to that. Maybe that's in another chapter of this story. Anyway, I thought it was a nice story, and it's meant for spiritual reflection and of how we can purify ourselves with getting rid of the program in the brain, which is the mind-body self, the personality self, and connecting to the heart, soul, inner heart, God, Brahman self. The unborn soul, or the unborn aspect that surrounds our soul, that surrounds our heart, which is the cause of everything else, the thing that Nisargadatta Maharaj says. It cannot be perceived because it is what makes perception possible. It cannot itself be perceived because it is itself what makes perception possible. And this is the ground, this is the ultimate reality. This is the ultimate reality, which in India we can call Brahman, Para-Brahman, the thing that underlies all existence, and which our rickshaw man merged himself into and became free in. He became free inside that reality. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.